Hey there, it's Colleen Flanagan, the Emotions Whisperer and Master Dowser. Today we're going to talk and do a demonstration, a Dows and Clear demonstration for fears that children might have. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, especially here in the United States and around the world, that can cause children to be afraid, even simple little things. And I will give you an example. A member of my family, when he was a little boy about 10 or 11 years old, he was afraid to go on the big slide in the water park. I mean, the huge monster slide. And his little friends and family made fun of him, and he was so ashamed and felt so terrible about it, and he didn't even know why for sure. So I sat down with him on the phone, and I just asked him, "What's going on? What are you afraid of?" "I don't know, I can't get up there, I won't go up there." And he wouldn't climb up the ladder, and going down the slide was scary to him as well. And I said, "Okay, tell me what's the worst thing that could happen. What is the worst thing that could happen? Just think about it. You know you're safe with me. You know you can talk to me." And then he said, "I saw that article that the little boy got killed at a water park or an amusement park. And that was, I think, a year or two ago. And ever since then, he's been afraid. And he never told anyone. No one knew. But he's afraid of dying. And at that age, why wouldn't you be, right?" So I said, "Okay, so you're afraid of not being safe on the water slide. You're afraid that you could get hurt and the bad times will never end." And he also had the consequences of success fear, which is a fear that if you finally do something and do it well, you'll be expected to do it that way all the time. And he had fears of rejection and abandonment by his peers and his family, who were teasing him and making fun of him and calling him a big baby and everything. So we got all these fears on a piece of paper. I wrote them down as he was talking to me on the phone. And then I dowsed for the severity of those fears, and then we cleared them out. And I just instructed him that, listen to Aunt Colleen, and we're just going to clear, and he knew how to do this. Clear, 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 clear. Listen to me speak, and you do this the entire time and switch hands, and we'll get rid of that fear. So all of his fears were pretty much at level 10, the top severity, especially the fear of dying. So we started with that one. You can also douse to find out which fear to begin clearing first. And I just looked at my list of the fears and the severities, and I connected into his energy with all the love in my heart, and imagining a green beam of light going from my heart to his heart. And he could almost feel it too, and we've always had a good connection. And I said, "Okay, let's get going." So he started doing this clearing. And if you're working with any of your children, clear like this or flick energy and such. The child does not have to do the clearing themselves, but it seems to work a lot faster when you're talking and clearing and they're clearing. They don't need to repeat after you, but they can if they want to, usually in their minds, so it doesn't mess up. If you're hearing them talking, then you don't know what to say. So here's some examples of what we did. "I now release my fear and terror going on the big water slide at the water park. I release my fear and terror that I could get hurt or I could die like that little boy I read about who died at the amusement park. I release all my fears that bad things could happen to me. Everyone else goes on the water slide. Why shouldn't I? It's just fear. I choose to let go of this fear now. I let go of this fear and I feel safe. And I now imagine myself climbing up those stairs and going down the slide and having fun with all my family and friends," and so it is. And then we just took some deep breaths in and out, and I asked him on the phone, "How do you feel now?" Because he admitted he was at severity 10. The biggest, that was the fear of dying on the water slide. It went down to level 3. And so I asked him, "All right, so what other fears came up while we were doing the clearing?" And he told me of a childhood situation where he was terrified when he tried something new and he got hurt. And this is a new trigger, not of dying, but of trying something new and getting hurt. So we cleared that. I now release my fear of not being safe and that the bad times will never end, that when I try new things, I get hurt physically, mentally, emotionally. People make fun of me. And then I said, imagine going on the slide. Are you afraid? And he said, no. He goes, but I'm afraid that if I chicken out, they'll laugh at me. And so we cleared the fears of rejection and abandonment by his friends and his family, and we forgave them. So all you do is talk and clear, and then you would dowse to check the severity. So what I did is I just dowsed and I said, is this sweet little soul's fear of going on the big water slide after we had done massive clearing, is it at level 0? And so when I bring my hands together and my fingertips touch, it's a yes. When I bring my hands together after asking a question and my fingertips go below, anywhere below the other fingertips, that's a no answer. And finally, I think it took about 40 minutes or so, I got a yes answer, and I asked him how did he feel. That's really important when you're working with kids, to ask them how they feel about things. And he was like, Aunt Colleen, I feel so good, I feel so happy. He goes, I'm ready to go. And a few days later, he calls me from the water park. Guess what? I went on the slide 3 times, and I'm going to go for time number 4. And he went on a bunch of other things he was sort of hesitant to go on. So that's how easy it is to work with kids. Like with working with animals, working with children is usually far less complicated than working with adult humans. Because as adults, man, we got all kinds of stuff going on from childhood. Decades and decades of stuff. Kids and animals, it goes a lot more quickly. Hope you find this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out my website, emorescue.com, for a whole lot of free stuff, more free videos, audios, first 10 chapters of my book, Fearless Accurate Dowsing. Or you can check out my Tapping Success Scripts, which has a whole lot of information on how to tap and clear out the emotions for children and animals as well as yourself. So be well, live in peace, peace out.